Our quote of the day today is, "You are braver than you believe, you are stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." Today is Money Monday. My name is Keely Austin, and I'm excited to be here with you today. It is February 1st, and we've got a fantastic training today. I'm excited for what our trainer has for us. A couple of quick announcements before we get started. We have our nationals coming up March 18th through the 20th, 3 full days of fantastic training. You absolutely want to be there and be fully present while you're there. Our conference will be online this year, and our theme is shifting higher into focused transformation. Leaders Retreat is also coming up in August 13th through the 17th. We are going to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. So excited to see you all there in Mexico for Leadership Retreat. Every Monday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, we have the Founders Live. That is on Facebook through the Facebook page, the Renatus Founders Live Facebook page. They stream that every Monday at 4 p.m. Make sure that you're present for that for any important announcements that Bob Snyder has to make about the company. And then we also get some training from leadership. Sometimes we get a keynote speaker. We also get to see some recognition of who's out there making things happen in their business. So tune into the Founders Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Every Monday at 7 p.m. Now our national, on a national level, we are offered study groups, and we're starting with the essentials. So make sure you're tuning in on Monday nights at 7 p.m. to the new study group that's offered. Also, we have the Helios app. The Helios app is in your app store. Go ahead and get that downloaded, give it 5 stars. And what's awesome is you can share the Money Matrix videos, the Money Mastery videos with your guests, with your leads, and provide them with a really uplifting 2 to 3 minute video. So tune into the Founders Live for more details on the Helios app and how you can use it to benefit your business. Every week, Thursdays at 6 p.m., we have our Private Capital Masterclass. Watch your classes, have those private capital conversations, and bring your stories to the masterclass. Every day from 9 a.m. to 9:45, we have our Dream Call. That's the daily real estate action mastermind, where we talk all things real estate investing. As you're out there analyzing deals, making offers, bring your questions, bring your wins to this mastermind. It's been a lot of fun. Every Friday, we have our fabulous Friday morning with Lily Parchas from 8 to 9. We get to learn from Lily on what's working for her in her business, and she also helps us move us along in our marketing business. So that call is about marketing. Make sure that you're present for that. And last but not least, we have our Zoom up call that is at noon. It's only about 15-20 minutes long. It's short and sweet, but it's really powerful. Make sure you're getting your guests in front of the Zoom up call. What it is each day it's a new student story. So we get to hear, not necessarily a new student, but we get to hear a different story from a different student each and every day. And I believe we're well above 50 at this point. So lots of really great stories on the Zoom up call. If you're not able to make it live, we have them all recorded and they are uploaded to our YouTube channel, Elevate Renatus. So make sure you catch those recordings if you're not able to make it live. OES.com is where you can sign up for the optional event subscription. There's also a short video there that talks about what the optional event subscription is, why you want to be a part of it, what comes with it, how it helps support our leadership. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. If you are looking to introduce your guests to our Profits Education, this is a great opportunity to do so. Bob Tierney has his presentation on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on the Profits Education, and that's 7 p.m. at Mountain Time. Every week on Wednesday, we have a virtual house tour, and this is built for your guests. So make sure you're getting your guests in front of these house tours live each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Last week, we did a tour of Mike Word's property. It's a short-term rental where he is only putting in $15,000 to get the place furnished, and he's leasing it. So it's not a property that he owns. So his rent on that is $1,450. It costs about $550 to run it. And the monthly income on that is $2,800 through the short-term rental strategy. And that makes it so that he has a net cash flow every month of $800. So congratulations, Mike. None of his own money to get into the deal. Congratulations, really exciting. And we appreciate you for letting us tour your property. So again, those are every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Make sure you're tuning into our property tours each and every Wednesday. And alongside that, we also have our AIT bonus track study group that's offered in Spanish every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Thursdays, we've got all kinds of stuff going on, lots of great content for us to plug into. So at 7 p.m. on Thursdays, we have our house tour that's offered in Spanish on Thursdays, English on Wednesdays. And then everything else you see here on the list is offered in English on Thursdays. The Pillars of Wealth intro presentation, our follow-up and funding webinar, the onboarding session, our Essentials Mastermind, as well as our study groups, multifamily, wholesaling, and short-term rental. We do record these morning calls. You can find them on our Facebook page. We are live on the Renatus Team Elevate Facebook page. Also, there's a lot of important announcements on that page. Make sure you tune into the page for regular announcements. And if you're not a part of it, reach out and we'll make sure you get added to the page. And then our YouTube channel, I already mentioned, has the Zoom up calls, and you can also find these calls on the Elevate Renatus YouTube channel. So today is Money Monday. We get to learn from Michael Huggins, and we are so fortunate to get to learn from Michael each and every Monday for an hour. Michael came from a place where he was frustrated and he knew he needed to make a change. He had done everything right as far as getting good grades, going to school. He even got a degree as an auto mechanic, but still found himself living paycheck to paycheck and just struggling to pay bills. He was living in his girlfriend's mother's basement at the time, his beautiful wife. And what he did was he actually found an ad in a newspaper and learned about real estate investing. So he was working 2 jobs and knew that he needed to make a change. And so when he found that ad in the newspaper, he dove in, and it turned out to be a Renatus ad. Michael got involved, and this was about 10 years ago. So we are learning from someone who has a lot of experience to share with us, and as we know, has a lot of success to share with us. If we fast forward to today, Michael has now earned millions of dollars, multiple millions as a marketer, as well as a real estate investor. Most recently, Michael is working on a land development project in Tennessee where he has over 260 acres of land. And it's really, really incredible to hear about his passions and his dreams on what he's working on out there. So if you haven't heard about it, make sure you talk to Michael and hear about his goals that he's working on in Tennessee. And we are so fortunate to get to learn from a PAC member. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Good morning. Doing fantastic. Thanks, Keely. Welcome everybody to the call. Hey, Keely, will you, I'd like to mix it up. Will you play the Money Matrix video again? And then so let's just, everyone, I need you to pay attention to the Money Matrix video this time. And then we'll take it from there. So yeah, let's hit that up again.
Okay.
By the way, this is the new crew. Everyone who did not renew their ICM agreement, they're out. They can still keep their education, of course. That's how we work with the education side. But if you did not renew your ICM by yesterday at midnight, you were not an ICM. They have purged the list. So we have a troop of very committed people here. I love it. All right, so pay attention to this video. So just something else to be thinking about is next year, as we're renewing our ICM agreement stuff, don't wait till the last minute. Like I literally had like 25 people between 11 and midnight last night renew. My Helios app was blowing up.
Oh yeah, you get notified each time.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, cool. I'm glad they're still part of the team. They're still part of the team. They're still part of the team. But it was like, wait a minute. We're over 30 days past the extension and people are still delaying. So, but some of you renewed December 1st, the very first day you could renew. So I want to acknowledge all of you for that as well. And Keely's internet is learning how to get connected. This is working out great.
Yeah, I don't know why after I play it, it makes me refresh the whole page.
Here we go. Some beautiful people. Okay.
Keely's demonstrating how to do it.
Yeah, well, it's a good demonstration as well. By the way, do you notice in the top left, what does Keely have on her profile? picture. If you have not put your profile picture in, it is hurting your reputation on the platform, because as you unlock different things, you finish classes, you get certain groups to events, blah blah blah. They're gonna spotlight you and highlight you, but if you don't have a picture, then they end up inserting a default silly animation picture. So put your own picture in there.
And it's loading.
It's loading.
There we go.
This woman armed with good advice, $2,800. This woman armed with good advice, $2,800 in a suitcase, started a global company. Would you have made the same choice as she did? When Jane Werwand was 2 years old, her father dropped dead of a heart attack. She does not remember this, but she does remember the aftermath it created. Her mother had been a stay-at-home mom of 4 daughters for 16 years. Her husband's death was a wake-up call. She had no idea how she was going to pay the mortgage, she didn't know how to drive, and back then, as a woman without a husband, she would not have been able to get a credit card, mortgage, or even car insurance on her own without enlisting her father's help or jumping through ridiculous hoops. Fortunately, Werwand's mother had been a nurse before she got married and had children. She had that vocational training to fall back on. It was a lesson she imparted on her daughters, and one which Jane took especially to heart. Learn to do something. If this same thing ever happened to you, you must be able to go to work as soon as possible and earn money. It was good, solid advice, one that would serve Jane well. Even with her mother working as a nurse, Werwand and her sisters grew up without much. They had to budget down to the last penny. Werwand got free lunches, the kind designated to the poorest students at school. This embarrassed her. By the time she was 13 years old, she was working odd jobs at a hair salon in her hometown in the UK. After high school, Werwand enrolled in beauty school to learn to become an esthetician. She took her mother's words about a vocation seriously. By 1983, Werwand had graduated from beauty school, had her esthetician's license, and had saved $2,800. She was 25 years old. She packed one suitcase and moved to Los Angeles with her now husband, Raymond. She soon discovered that there was a gap in the skincare marketplace in the US. She couldn't find a skincare line that was free of fragrances and harsh irritants. She purchased a mailing list from the California Licensing Board and began offering classes in advanced skincare for $10 to other cosmetologists. She called her burgeoning business the International Dermal Institute. 3 years later, she founded Dermalogica. Since then, she has grown it to be the #1 professional skincare brand in the world and is sold in more than 80 countries. Today, Werwand continues to build the Dermalogica brand, and she gives dozens of students from disadvantaged backgrounds free tuition to her institute every year. In 2011, Werwand founded the nonprofit foundation joinfight.org, which provides small business loans to women. The foundation has given loans to 62,000 women across the world. One particularly touched Werwand's heart. A woman in San Jose, California used the loan to expand her child care center to offer 24-hour service to help parents working night shifts. This reminded Werwand of her mother, who worked the night shift as a nurse. Werwand and Dermalogica continue to operate the International Dermal Institute, which has 38 postgraduate training centers and 45 international locations that train more than 75,000 professional skincare therapists every year. From childhood tragedy to adult success story, Jane Werwand embodies the mindset of an entrepreneur who followed her dream to America while also following the sound advice of her mother to learn to do something and set a good foundation. Call to action, you. Take 10 minutes right now to consider some good advice you've followed in the past. How did it help you along the way?
All right, pause it here. Okay, I'm going to start a timer. We are going to do this. So whether you have a paper and a pen, old school, you got your little stubby pencil with your fun little eraser, or you got your fancy Apple pencils, I don't care. It's time to capture this idea. And then we're going to come out and share. All right, so I'm going to call on you guys randomly, so you better have an answer. All of you wanted this. I just want to acknowledge that all of you wanted this, or you wouldn't have shown up. You want to be called on randomly, or you would have slept in. or you would have hopped on Netflix or YouTube or done something else. So 9 minutes now. What's some good advice that you followed, not just received, but followed? And how did it help you? Okay, 6 minutes. Three and a half minutes. 90 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds. Okie dokie, time is up. So some of you have already typed it into the chat. I would also like to have a couple people come off of mute. If you would like to come off of mute, and you can go ahead and raise your hand, and then we'll have that list there. I'm going to go ahead and read what we got here. Okay, so LaShawn said, the last day I went to register for college classes, I found out I was pregnant. My grandma asked me what I was going to do. I told her I was not going to college and get a job. My grandmother told me I could still go to college and we could figure it out. And we did. I went to class during the days, and during the evenings I worked at the college. Last day to work was Friday, and my son was born on a Sunday. Eventually I returned back to college to get my degree. Grandma's advice. Okay, Victoria says, I do not have my headset this morning, but mine was to be mindful of how you present yourself to the world, because there's always someone watching. And Kevin was to never assume information is correct, but to research everything. Don't rely on somebody. And then Autumn says, find a creative value, take massive action. Okay, cool. So whose hands are raised? Whose hands are raised? Anthony and Jenna. Go ahead, Anthony.
Hey, Ron. Mine was actually advice from an ad, and I implemented it and followed it myself. So I ran a telecoms company in South Africa, and the advice was simply Nike's "just do it." But I added something to it. It was "just do it and tell us." So what we were responsible for was the communications in the mines, and basically it would cost R1 million a minute, so $100,000 in downtime. So the thing was, my staff had to make critical decisions, and the idea was they had to just make that decision on the fly, but let us know what that decision was so that we could all support whatever that decision was. So my advice to anybody is just do it and communicate it.
Nice. Okay, thank you, sir. Jenna.
So my advice comes from William Lamb and NLP, and that is to focus on what you want always. And so when I find myself in a less than desirable, like emotional state or energetic state, or in a place of worrying, I remember that it's like kind of ringing in my head constantly now. And so what I do is think about what it's going to feel like 15 seconds after I'm done with the thing that I'm concerned about, and like successfully completing that. And it completely alleviates all of that stress and perceived anxiety around what needs to happen. And I just start taking action steps towards completing that task, as well as just always holding that mental picture in my mind of the things that we want. So that plays into the self-confidence formula as well. Just understanding like my why and staying focused on my why, and the things that I want to accomplish, the things I want to have, and the experiences I want to have. And it really always brings me back into a space of being empowered and knowing that it's really my responsibility to make it happen.
Okay, awesome. I saw Pete's hand up, and then Jared, did you have your hand up and then back down? Okay, go ahead, Pete.
Okay, the best advice I got was at an expo. I met a fuzzy punk that told me I should come to the cash flow game and be teachable and coachable. And so I'm teachable and coachable, and I made almost $60,000 because I listened to him.
Okay, right on. All right, Jared.
Okay. I wrote down some advice I got from my mom a long time ago, and she says, never take your problems to the world, because half the world really doesn't care, and the other half are glad you have the problem and not them. So it led me to understand that no one is coming to save you, no matter how much you complain. 2, independency can eventually lead to interdependency, but it cannot lead, or codependency cannot. And the third thing is that you are all the solutions to all your problems. So
Excellent. That is some sound advice there. Okay, we'll go to Andres and then Charles.
Good morning, everybody.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. So a good advice that I received was to work on small disciplines. And one particular small discipline that I'm working on is waking up early, and that has helped me, be the first mental victory of the day for me, which boosts my confidence, and it also helps me manage my time better. So I start my day very, very early, and that has been tremendous. Another advice is, to be grateful every day, which, it's a great fuel, for my drive. So those are two advices that I work on every day.
Okay, wonderful. All right, Charles. Thanks, Andres.
All right, so I had the first one I got. It's really powerful, but and it's, my dad used to say, it's mind over matter, which I never really understood it until I got the second powerful piece of information, which was to practice gratitude every day. And then since then, I've understood how mind over matter works. You can use your mind to overpower any matter, any problem, any situation you have.
Nice. Nice.
So gratitude, I think gratitude was the most powerful one that actually started. Sorry about the barking dogs. Started helping me understand all the good advice I got before that I didn't understand.
Okay, right on. Sometimes you need a key to unlock another key. Cool. By the way, everyone, I was just reminded by Charles, in your audio settings, there is, you go into audio settings, about halfway down the settings menu, there's a suppression background noise setting, and you can turn it on to low, medium, or high. So in case there's background noise, it will be eliminated. All right, Al, Mr. Noble.
Thank you, Michael, for suggesting that, because I was going to know the building. My reason, the things that I learned was develop multi streams of income, learn a trade, and educate yourself.
Okay, powerful keys. And what have you done because of it?
Well, I've been able to, even when I have lost a job, left a job, or whatever the case may be, I've been able to keep myself afloat in terms of keeping income coming in.
Good. Multiple streams, folks. That's what we want. Thanks, Al.
And always open to other opportunities.
Yeah, that's a major key. Okay, perfect. I'm going to share mine real quick. So the first one I got was from Jim Rohn, and he said, speaking 2 languages can double your income. Speaking 2 languages can double your income. So over the last little while. Some of you know I've been practicing Spanish and working on that and doing my best to make sure that Spanish is something that I continually think about. I'm reading Spanish books to the baby. Bienvenidos a la granja. And just having a ton of fun with that. And so because I am working on that, other people see me working on it, and then they realize, okay, well, if he's working on his Spanish, I can work on my English. And because of that, we've had this Spanish, English, Latino explosion inside of our business. I'm not saying it's just me, but I'm saying that because I'm trying Spanish and working on it, I get to be more involved in that. So 2 languages, double your income. And the second piece of advice from Grandpa. I remember when I moved to a better neighborhood, finally. I was in my teens, and we lived just 2 streets below where this new neighborhood started that was all enormous old money mansions. It was awesome. And I kept telling him, I want to live there. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to live in a house like that. And he just kind of looked at me like, don't be such an idiot. I was like, I was confused by that. And he said, it's not about where you live or how much money you make. It's about what you do with it. And that totally changed my goal from make a bunch of money to buy a big house to make a bunch of money to be a big influence. So that's what I got, the advice I got, and that's what I've been doing with it. All right, so now I'm going to volunteer some people. Let's have Dina, Miri, and Kai come out next. Go ahead, Dina.
Okay. When I was young, I found that I ended up watching my parents. When my parents split, we had 4 kids, and my mom lost everything, absolutely everything. She lost her marriage, her house, her kids, her belongings, just entirely everything. And so when she got to a point where this sliding was sort of slowing down, then she to stop the devastation that was going on for her, she returned back to her hometown, which was Sacramento, and started putting a new life together. When she started putting her new life together, then she was able to retrieve some of those things that she lost. So in that process, I learned that I needed to have an education, and college is what my parents had always been pushing. So no matter what, I worked on getting a college degree. It took me 11 years. I finally made it. And my degree was in computer science. So it was something that didn't require me being able to talk to people. It didn't require me having to interact with people other than to find out what their problems were, and then I could fix them. So my biggest thing now is learning how to talk to people, because that seems to be my biggest thing.
Okay. And you use that advice?
Yes, I actually had some real classes in it. And since then, I mean, I started doing all of the self-help books to learn how to do things. Think and Grow Rich, The Power of, The Magic of Thinking Big was a very big one. That one helped me a great deal. So at this point, I'm still doing lots of learning, only this time it's through a lot of other people and what it is they're doing. And I'm working to try and get where I can start making progress. I guess I am making progress. I'm not seeing it. Anyway.
Well, every time I hear you speak, it doesn't sound like you have any issues with it. So keep it up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, Miri. Miri, would you like to come out and share? She's fallen asleep. Or she's frozen.
Miri, I need you to come on out because I'm trying to buy some time here, you know?
All right, well, perfect. Go ahead, Kai.
So I would say one thing.
being from another dimension has joined the call. There she goes. She just dropped. Is she back? There she is.
I'm back. Yeah, my internet here is like really struggling. So what was your question, my friend?
What advice have you received and followed? What
Okay,
next?
so we are in the same subject. That's what you're telling me.
Correct.
All right. So actually, I kind of went through very similar to what people already actually have mentioned. But let me see if I have something new here. Being all grateful, it was one of the things that I. Hang on, the time now. Okay, so one of the things that I'm getting, I got advice from is, can you hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. That time is now, not to procrastinate, not to delay what I can do now to later. And it really helps me to get my stuff that I need done and manage my time better. So, and get all my tasks are done. So that's one of the things that I've learned by somebody that advised that to me, to break it down to small tasks and put time on it. And when I'm done with it, to move on. It really helps me with my time management and not be all over.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you for sharing. So we'll go to Kai, and then Keely, and then Jared.
Okay, thanks. My glasses are ready. Should we?
All right, Kai.
All right, so I'm kind of tie both these in together because they go hand in hand. But the thing that I would say, the best advice that I've taken is, just because you're trying doesn't mean you're doing, right? So instead of keep saying I'm trying, no, do that SHIT, right? So in addition to that is because you want to be able to live the lifestyle that nobody can live later on in the future based on what you do today. So I wake up and I go along with that, and yeah, it's powerful. It is. Michael, I want to tell you, give you personal things, because I actually was going to schedule a call with you, but I did get in contact with Cosmo, and I did do the classes as you recommended, and I'm waiting to see once he gets back to me how things are going to go, because when you told me how many books you read, that was powerful. That was powerful.
Yeah, man, you got to keep up with this stuff. Cool, man. Well, you're taking advice and you're acting on it. And say the first thing you said again. Trying. What was it?
Oh, so trying is basically trying is simply not doing. You know, instead of trying, do it. You know,
Trying is not doing, folks. That's powerful. Cool. Well, thank you, Kai, for coming out here. We'll go Keely, Mike, then Kristen.
Bless you.
Gracias.
So, Michael, I want to thank you for giving me the advice to go to Toastmasters and to get outside of my comfort zone often, because that has made me very uncomfortable. And the more I do it, the more I realize how silly it is to be afraid of something that I've been afraid of my whole life. It's just public speaking, and even small talk was something that was very awkward for me the majority of my life. Unless I was really good friends with somebody, I would get very uncomfortable talking to people. And so Toastmasters and just getting outside of my comfort zone and having an awareness around that has been extremely beneficial in my development, in increasing my confidence and lowering my fears, and not just in business, but in my personal life as well. So thank you, Michael, for that advice a few years ago.
Awesome. Coachable. It's working. All right. I remember Jared wanted something too. He typed something in the chat. So let's jump to Jared and then we'll go to Mike. Go ahead, Jared.
One advice I got that taught me out a ton was from Tony Robbins. I've been to quite a few of his events. And one thing he said that really kind of struck home for me was turn your shoulds into musts. Because we always think I should do something and I should do this. We should all of ourselves, but nothing happens. So whenever I hear my internal dialogue is saying like I should make that phone call, then like I kind of snap into, oh crap, I said should, now I have to do it. So now I have like an internal thing, like I try to avoid should because I like now it turns into a must. I have to do it. So turn your shoulds into must. And something that you Michael, another thing real fast is that that I got from you was, you didn't say this exactly, but I turned it into embrace the suck, lean into failure is what I think how you put it in one. This is a long time ago. You've talked to this, but you talked about like when you're scared of something, you lean into it. You lean into fear. And so and I internalized it and I just turned it into embrace the suck. You know, I'm okay with sucking. I'm okay with failing because I know I'm going to get better. So thank you for that.
Nice. Oh man, leaning in. Perfect. All right. Word. Have you heard?
I have lots of advice that I followed. My mom said life's an attitude. So that helps level out the ups and downs. You also said something about that. You know, we don't have to react to people liking you or people not liking you or just having good times or bad times. Just, you know, they're happening, but you don't have to be all caught up in them emotionally. And then credit is everything. That, my mom used to say that, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And now I'm like, oh my gosh. A name is worth, a good name is worth more than silver and gold. That's actually something that's in the Bible, which is strange, but there's lots of financial concepts in that book. Never give up. Read a book a week, and don't make excuses, or you can't make excuses and make money or make change in your life happen at the same time. And also fail forward, fail fast, and fail often.
Nice.
That's from Jay Nasty.
All right. And the second part of the assignment is, how has this impacted you?
Yeah, and it's impacted me by leaps and bounds. You know, when I first found Renatus, all these pieces of advice I wasn't necessarily taking to heart and putting into practice. And since I've been involved in this community, I've put all those things to practice, and my income is way different than it was before.
There's food in the fridge, folks. There's food in the fridge.
Yeah, there's lots of reserve accounts and all kinds of stuff. But
Yeah.
And my mindset, you know, just I used to be a lot more of a frustrated person and just an angry black dude in society, like wanting to, you know, point the finger at other reasons for why my situation wasn't the way I wanted it to be. But now it's like I get it, you know, that it's my situation, no matter how many obstacles are outside of me, like I'm my biggest obstacle. So if I can get past myself, then all the other obstacles are minor compared. And that's the truth.
Nice.
So anything's possible.
That's right. If there are no enemies within, the enemies outside can do us no harm. All right, we'll go to Kristen and then Sherry, and then we will wrap it up for the day. Kristen, come on out here.
Hey guys, I'm just, oh boy, wow, my little boy just spit up. Sorry. Well, it'll be quick.
It's all good.
And I'm not on, oof, I think I was on. Sorry. Well, I'm just gonna, sorry, I'm speechless by Mike. That was amazing, man. Thank you. Mine is not as deep, but it is definitely helpful. I'm a new parent, and the best advice that I got was to read the book Sleep Sense. And it's crazy what sleep deprivation and stress kind of does to your mind. I read it and I sleep trained my little bub here, and he sleeps 2 to 3 hours each nap, 2 to 3 times a day, sleeps 12 hours a night. And I am not a sleep deprived mom. I am a well-rested mom, which makes me definitely a more positive person. And being a mom is like a superpower. I feel like I can do everything, albeit I am pressed for time sometimes, but best advice I ever got.
Nice.
Yeah.
Way cool. All right. Thanks for coming out here. And Sherry.
Okay, so one of the best pieces of advice that I got was the 5-second rule, the Mel Robbins idea.
Yeah.
And so what you're supposed to do is when you have a thought or a goal you want to achieve, you do it within 5 seconds. I believe that's what it says. Anyway, so I love to ride my road bike, and I've, done longer and longer miles. And I wanted to do 100 miles, but along the way you have to meet other milestones. But every time I would go out to practice, or to even do like the 50 or the 60 miles or whatever, sometimes your mind wants to tell you you can't do it. So I basically just shut off my mind, put on my clothes, and jump on my bike. So that's how I use that rule.
Nice. How many miles are you up to now?
I've only done 100. So yeah, in a day.
Only. All right. Wow, folks. Awesome. Well, it's working now. It's time to do 100K in a day.
Oh my Lord. Yes. Yes. Let's do it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks for coming out here and sharing. And some of you, I could tell, wrote down and captured all of this advice. You didn't just write down your own, but you realized, wait a minute, people are dropping gold here. And you started writing down everyone else's. There's a lot that was just shared in this call. And, I decided that we're going to start to mix lessons and lectures with exercises. Are you guys cool with that?
Yeah.
For a while, we were just a little too heavy on the lecture stuff, and it's working, but we need to constantly evolve. And so I was doing a meditation on Friday, and an idea popped into my brain. And I was like, wait a minute, I need to clean this idea up. So I have this little app that I paid for, and it helps me clean up my ideas. And the idea was, okay, we've all set aside 60 minutes for this call. We all watched the Money Matrix video. The assignments are 10 minutes at the end of this. Now, we're not going to take every call like we did this time and take the whole time to discuss it. This is just kind of getting the ball rolling. Because sometimes we'll just have 2 or 3 people share, and then we'll get into what we need to get into for the day. Woody Woodward has made more money than all of us. He has owned more Ferraris than all of us. He has lived in more mansions than all of us. He has written more books than all of us. He has more patents than all of us and more inventions than all of us. He's written more movies than all of us. And the dude spent, I don't know how much money and time with Bob Snyder to make this video series. And I was just thinking, if we really want to get strong and big in this world, we have to clean up the contradictions. Isn't it a little contrary to the successful action when we watch the video, it says take 10 minutes right now, and then we turn it off? Isn't that a little silly? There's a contradiction in that. We need to clean that up. So now we're going to watch that video, all pay attention, because then we're going to do what's in the video, because the guy who's smarter and richer and has better relationships than all of us, not that better or worse than is what we're getting into, but I'm just saying he's lived a life. He's put in the work. He's paved a trail. And for us to follow that makes a lot of sense. And to do it inside this mastermind arena, I think we can get a lot more out of it. And so I want to start doing that. Is everyone cool with having that be a part of our morning call and our morning routine?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes.
We get the name of that book that I think it was Kristen said about the sleep book.
What's the sleep book, Kristen? Everyone wants to know now.
Sorry. It is called Sleep Sense. And if you send me your email, I can actually send you a PDF of the book. Saved my life. And I truly mean that. And my son's, because he was sleeping in our bed with us. I knew it wasn't safe. And it's just amazing. It's just completely turned around my family life. And I love my little guy so much more now that he sleeps.
Lovely. All right, there's a couple emails in the chat if you want to grab them real quick.
I'll do that. I'll send it. Thanks, guys. I'll send it to you today.
Hey, Michael, can I have a minute?
You get 30 seconds.
So I'm hosting similar to what we just did now on Clubhouse. So the idea is people go down, invite them to download the Renatus app. They watch the money matrix, and on Clubhouse, they can discuss it for an hour. And that event is coming up in 2 hours time. So I just posted it up in the chat. Please guys, come along, support, invite guests, get them to download the app, and they secure it to you for 30 days.
Yep.
I have a quick question for Anthony. Do you know if Clubhouse will be available for Android soon? And if not, does it work for an iPad if I got an iPad, because I don't want an iPhone?
No, I don't know yet. It's a question that often comes up and nobody's got an answer.
Yeah,
You want an
I
iPhone.
want an invite, but I don't have an iPhone, so.
You could do it on your
Okay,
iPad.
Everyone who has an iPhone.
Thank you, Jenna.
Everyone who has an iPhone, are they happy they have an iPhone? Is anyone upset that they have an iPhone? I don't see anyone that's upset with their iPhone.
I don't like iPhone. My mother and sisters have them, and I can't even figure them out. I like my Android. I'm so used to it.
It's just a learning curve.
Ada, these things are bulletproof. The FBI can't get into these. Anyway, get
Michael,
it on
I had
iPad. That's really what you want. It's an app for people to talk and chat and do things and stuff.
I had a quick question real quick. You've been talking about the walls and bringing them down, and I just had how do you identify these walls?
Listen to the book Untethered Soul.
I've heard of that one.
You heard of it and you haven't listened to it yet.
I think I listened to a bunch of his other books.
Oh, I know you have. I know you've been busy. I'm just pointing it out.
Is that on Audible?
Yep, The Untethered Soul. I had to listen to it like 4 times in the last couple of years. That's definitely a more than once book. All right, now, last thing, because I have to go. The promotion for our 10-day challenge starts now. Okay, I want everyone to start promoting our 10-day challenge. If you are not a part of the Real Estate Investors United Facebook group, you need to be in there, because that's where we're hosting the 10-day challenge. You need to start telling everyone, hey, I'm going to do a 10-day real estate challenge where we're going to be getting out there and getting our first deal under contract. Come and do it with me. It's free. It's fun. These guys have a proven track record. Let's do it and get the buy-in. It starts on the 15th, but you need to be checking constantly, because inside of our team page, our Team Elevate Facebook group, we're going to be having a lot of announcements and materials and flyers and different things, some interviews that you can start sharing those interviews with people. Get your butt in the group and put this in the top of your mind. February 15th it starts, and we're going to push it for 10 days. And then the people on the outside are going to go, dang, that was so much fun. I want to be around. I want to be a part of what you guys are offering. And we're going to say, great, it's 2 to 20 grand. Pay to play. You got to do all this free stuff with us for 10 days. There's a lot more where that came from. So Real Estate Investors United is the name of the group. Put all your leads in there, put all your guests in there. If you want to be an admin of the group and you can follow the rules, I'll make you an admin so you can admit your own leads in there as well. Awesome Blossom. The name of the book is called Sleep Sense for Babies and The Untethered Soul for Your Walls.
Michael, before you go, is it okay if we post this on our Facebook page to invite people to the 10-day challenge?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep, get on OES. We'll get you your promo codes today in the email. Okay, awesome, folks. Have a wonderful day. I gotta go. Adios.